Hi, Paul Slatkus, Good News Planet, speaking to Ellie Kay. Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hello, Paul. How are you? I'm doing great.
Good, good. We need you. America's family financial expert. We know a lot about taxes. You know a lot about taxes. We know a lot about paying them. Or maybe we don't know that much about paying them because maybe we're, paying too much of them and so on. And maybe we're not getting enough money back from when we pay them and so on and so forth. But with today's concerns financially for so many, every penny that I guess we hold on to is good news, right?
Well, it definitely helps, and there are there's a lot of good news for people when they're filing their taxes this year.
Good.
For one thing, the deadline is April 18th, and that is something that's different, and
Really?
that's good news. So we have a few extra days, but it's still important not to procrastinate because when you do that, then you might have to rush through, and rushing equals errors, and you don't want to have errors when it comes to your tax return.
So they've given you the weekend to mull over your last-minute concerns.
Well, yes. That's due to Emancipation Day in Washington, D.C., and it impacts everyone across the country.
Emancipation Day? Wow.
Yes.
All right, a very important reason. Good. So now, what are some new good news opportunities for the taxpayers?
Well, some of the tax law changes that are different this year are the standard deductions are higher for everybody this year, so that's good news. And then while many provisions have expired, some are still the same for 2010 returns, including the American Opportunity Credit, the additional child tax credit, and also the adoption credit has been increased, so that's different too. And then the Making Work Pay Credit, 2010 is going to be the last year for that credit, and people need to be aware of the fact that they still have to claim it on the return. So even though that may have been taken out of your taxes and your paycheck throughout the year, you still do have to claim that on your return.
Opportunity credit? What is that?
That is actually the Making Work Pay Credit. 2010 is the last year on that.
Okay, meaning that you hired somebody during what does it mean?
Well, basically, that is where they got a credit throughout the years, 6.2 of earned income, up to $400 for single filers and $800 for joint filers. That was a way to help them get a little bit more money in their paycheck. Now, what that has been replaced with at the end of last year, the new information for 2011 now is that has been replaced with the payroll tax holiday. And so we have a reduction for everybody across the board. It's going to be 4.2 for employees, and it's 2% lower. So that's going to be taken out of your paycheck throughout the year, and you need to make sure that you adjust the W-4 form for your employer.
You mentioned another one that I never actually heard of, and since we're talking about families, an adoption credit.
Yes, the adoption credit has increased, and that is really good news if you have adopted this year. And there's a lot of stipulations in terms of the documentation that's required for that. And so one of the great ways to be able to step through all the tax law changes is to get a sophisticated software that's free. And I recommend Tax Act Free Federal Edition because when you use that, you can print, prepare, and e-file simple and complex returns, including all these tax law changes that we've been talking about. And if you run into a glitch of something you don't understand, you can get free help via email. So that's a really good thing. And of course, if you want to get your refund back in the quickest way possible, then it's important for you to e-file and select direct deposit because you can get it back in as few as 8 days if you make those selections.
Okay. Now, when you use a program, as you're suggesting here, like taxact.com, what you still need to prepare and organize and have all your numbers together, correct?
Well, absolutely. It is your part. You need to gather all your W-2s, your 1099s, and other tax documentation. You need to be able to show receipts and proof for any of the deductions or the credits that you're taking, and that is something that you have to get together yourself. However, the good news is that when you use a sophisticated software program, they walk you through everything that you need so that you are being upright in what you choose to take, that you really can take those deductions or credits.
Free federal tax return for everyone.
Yeah, that would be at Tax Act Free Federal Edition at taxact.com, because they can walk you through everything, so that you are claiming everything that you may have coming to you.
Uh-huh. And what other kinds of things? Should the family sit down and kind of evaluate their situation? I mean, usually it's a good time to say, well, this is what we did last year, but if we would have done this, X, Y, Z, maybe it would have been we would have received more money in the end. Is it a good time to evaluate your financial situation?
Well, yes, you bring up an excellent point, Paul, and that is that it is important to plan for 2011, not only when it comes to taxes, but when it comes to just your family finances, your budget, and everything. And so one of the ways that you can do that is that after you have filled out your taxes for last year, then you can go to a tab at taxact.com, and the tab will talk about planning for the upcoming year. For example, one of the things that people need to be aware of is that with this payroll tax holiday, you may need to adjust your W-4. And on that tab, they will actually help you calculate what you should have withholded from your payroll for 2011. So you can actually fill out that form right there. Then you take that W-4 form into your employer, and that way you're not going to have over withholding for 2011.
Yeah, that usually is always the initial when you switch to a company. That's a good thing to evaluate. Do you want more money now, or do you want to receive some more money at a later moment, right?
Right, and with the tax law changes now that are into play, that is something that you have to do yourself to make sure that you are only claiming on the Social Security payroll tax a 4.2% instead of 6.2%. So that may mean that you have to fill out a new W-4 because it is better, as you said, Paul, to be able to get money throughout the year than to get a larger refund at the end of the year.
What is a 60-minute money workout? And I know you have many books, and you've helped a lot of people who, ease their pain and or ease their gain, or increase their gain, let's say, over the years. So what's a 60-minute money workout?
Well, this workout is something that you can do to be able to take control of your money matters. And I have a lot of different workouts that I've talked about in my latest book. And, whether it's a spending plan that you're developing, whether you're paying down consumer debt, whether it's a 60-minute college workout to try to pay for that. And in this time of the year, I recommend a 60-minute money tax workout. And that's where you sit down with your spouse, whoever was working on your taxes together. You have all your W-2s, 1099s, and other tax documents. You're sitting in front of a computer so that you can go to taxact.com and use the software to be able to make progress. And do as much as you can during that 60-minute money workout, and then click Save and come back to it again when you're fresh. And before you know it, you're going to have all your taxes done, and you'll be on your way to getting that refund.
We need people like you, Ellie. Thank you very much. Last quick question. What's good news for you?
Well, good news for me is that my family is healthy and happy, and that's something that can never be taken for granted.
Beautiful. That I agree with you so much. Thank you so much, Ellie. Look forward to speaking with you again, and then thank you for sharing good news with us.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Take care. And Ellie has a great website. We'll link over to both the few that you mentioned as well. So thanks, Ellie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.